Newcastle 2, Chelsea 0, and a lot of people are going to say, congratulations Newcastle, or you've done so well Newcastle, or you've won the game Newcastle. The reality is, Nicholas Jackson is a clown. Nicholas Jackson today proved one thing and one thing only. You are a man-child. You can't keep your cool under difficult situations, and what happens is, you decide to elbow the opposition player, have no reaction whatsoever because you know you're a moron. He saw red mist and decided to elbow the Botman. And then everyone says, oh, we've dropped points. Of course we're going to drop points. Of course we're going to bloody drop points. Today we're going to talk about this game because Newcastle 2, Chelsea 0 sounds really bad. Newcastle 0, Chelsea 2 sounds like Champions League hopes are over. They're not over. We're going to talk about the good. We're going to talk about the bad. We're going to talk about the downright ugly. But today what we are going to do is make sure Jackson, that fraud, doesn't play for Chelsea again for the rest of the season. I don't want to see him in the final in the Conference League. He absolutely cost us massive. And I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to break this down. I'm going to try not to be emotional. I'm going to try to be reasonable. I'm going to try to be objective. But I am emotionally jarred out. Because what today was an opportunity to give ourselves some wusa. It was an opportunity for us to give ourselves some relaxing time where we get the victory today and we beat Manchester United and top four is done. But yet what happens now is there's no room for error. 2 wins are needed from the last 2 games. You need to beat Manchester United at home, and then you need to go to Forest, and regardless of their result today, you need to make sure you win. Because what's going to happen is, Villa's going to win their last 2 games. They've got Spurs, and they've got Manchester United. Then we're not getting any favours from them. So let's get into it. Let's break this down. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new. You know the drill. Let's go. Look, the reality is, today's performance is bad. What this has done now means Chelsea Football Club need to win the last 2 games. Manchester United at home, Forest away. Look, Champions League was never going to be easy. You drop points against Ipswich, you drop points against Brentford, you drop points against Ipswich again. Stuff like this happens. So it's in your hands. You still have control. You showed character in the second half, but we need to talk about the ugly truth. Number 1, we didn't start properly. What happened was diabolical. I don't want to hear why is Caicedo right back, because when it works, nobody complains. When we beat Liverpool, nobody complains. When we beat, Everton, nobody complains. So the reality is you can't pick and choose when you like the inverted fullback. What you can pick and choose is Caicedo's defending there. What happened for that first goal? Number 1, Caicedo defends really well against Gordon. Gives the ball all the way to Lavia. Lavia takes liberties. The problem is when you play high percentage football in situations like that, you kick it long. Yet we play low percentage football. We invite pressure on. Lavia gets nabbed by Sandro. The ball goes out to Murphy. Murphy crosses it in. Caicedo's trying to play offside. Brother, you can't play offside in that situation. You're not a right back. It's part of the limitations of having you right back. You get punished. What does that do? It absolutely changes the game. And why does it change the game 3 minutes in? All of a sudden, Newcastle now can park the bus and we have to play against low blocks. And we can't do low blocks. Low blocks for us is like algebra to a stupid person. It's like algebra for someone who doesn't know how to count. That's what it is for us. And it is absolutely diabolical. It is absolutely pathetic that we started the game in that kind of manner. And that is on the players, that's on the manager, and that's just all in all on the inexperience and the construction of the squad. Then what happens is the second ugly truth about today. We just didn't start playing. First half, we're against the low block, our kryptonite all the time. And what happens is the ball's getting pumped into Jackson. He's running into channels. He's actually the only one kind of doing something without doing something because it's Nicholas Jackson. And what happens? His frustration elevates. His frustration heightens. His frustration goes to a level and it reaches the zenith of his frustration. And what ends up happening? My man decides to turn into AJ Styles, a phenomenal forearm player. I'm sorry, there's no other way to put it. The ball comes in. He doesn't look at the ball once. He does not look at the ball once. This idiot, right, does not look at the ball once. He looks at Botman and he says, I am going to give you one, big man. I have saved up in WWE 2K24. I've got my finisher. I am going to phenomenal forearm you. And not only did he forearm him, he got him clean. People now are morons that are telling me, oh my God, in the past that wasn't a red card. Broski, just because you made a mistake once in your life doesn't mean someone else has to repeat your stupid mistake. Just because one referee makes a mistake, do you think the other referee needs to make the mistake? No. For me, this is pathetic. This was on Nicholas Jackson. He's not only out of this game, he's not playing against Manchester United, and he's not playing against Forest. Wow. Absolutely wow. This now has played horribly, terribly into our hands. So what has happened now? We've got no Jackson moving forward, and now we need to talk about the bad. The bad here is we huffed, we puffed, and we couldn't blow nothing down. Genuinely, there's the whole amplitude of today's game in the first half. We were late to 50-50s. Lavia was losing his 50-50s. Enzo Fernandez was losing 50-50s. Caicedo was running around like a headless chicken, kicking anybody in sight. I don't know how he doesn't get booked. Neto, Noni, Palmer, invisible in the first half. And yet, I sit here and I'm going to talk to you now about the second half and how the adjustments fixed us. But first of all, I want to tell you the other bad. Eddie Howe in the first half won the tactical battle. He went with 3 centre-backs, 2 wing-backs, and we couldn't handle it. We couldn't work it out. It bothered us. It rattled us. It absolutely pressured us to the point where we were panicked. And that's why we lost the first half. And in the second half, we lost it. But it was because of a deflected goal. And what really irritated me was there's no difference between losing 1-0 and 2-0. Because when it's 1-0 or 2-0, who cares? The deflected goal came for Bruno Guimaraes. And that Muppet, by the way, yeah, he should have gave away a penalty. How that's not a penalty is beyond me. He has got Enzo Fernandez in a man hug. The only thing left was him to go and grab his Johnson, if you know what I mean. The way he was touching him up, you would think it was their wedding night. It was absolutely pathetic. It was absolutely diabolical how that wasn't given as a penalty. The ref absolutely blew it. And because the ref doesn't give it, VAR is not going to look at it. So they don't make it into a big deal. The elbow, they made it into a big deal because initially it was a yellow. They overturned that decision. But the hugging on Enzo Fernandez, not a penalty. Jarring, absolutely jarring. Somehow, I'm going to take away a spirited positives from this game, because there are spirited positives, and this is the losers that we've become, that we lose a tough game and we start going, and what happened? Maresca in the second half outcoached Eddie Howe. We should have got back into the game. Reece James came on, Reece James played at right centre back, and all of a sudden Levi, Chalobah looked okay, Isak was invisible, we were winning the midfield battles with Lavia and Caicedo, Enzo was in the forward line, we're creating chances, and there were 3 huge opportunities. The first one, the ball comes to Cucurella, Cole Palmer picks him out, we get an overload on the back stick, he hits the ball across goal, brilliant save by Pope. The only difference is no one ran in for the follow-up because the chance was there. Don't worry, we'll get another one. Jadon Sancho, overlap, we get an overload on the left-hand side, the ball switches across to him, retains the ball, gives it to Enzo Fernandez, Enzo Fernandez puts his laces through it, tipped over the bar, corner kick. That's the corner kick we should have got a penalty from. No penalty, no problem. Still 1-0 at that point. Then there's a delivery coming in, Reece James tries to flick it on, and it doesn't go in. We dominated that second half. We were the better team. Genuinely, one-on-one, Levi Colwell really stepped up today. He dealt with Isak, he dealt with Gordon, he dealt with a lot of people. I thought Caicedo in the second half was marvellous. People were trying to, oh yeah, he's not getting booked here, he's not being... He plays like that. That's his aggression. Ruthless aggression in midfield. And that's what pisses me off, because we should have won that game. You know, you look at the way that game is, we at least should be coming off with a point. Lavia bossed it. The problem was, we just had no threat. Jackson put us in a predicament when we had no threat. And Noni came off, and it made sense why Noni came off. Because Noni's work rate, he's not Bov. He literally isn't Bov. So what are you going to do? Carry Noni Madueke in the second half and be down to 9 men? Nah, it doesn't work. And for me, it's super frustrating, super annoying. But now we're in a predicament where I don't even know what we're doing. Genuinely, I don't know whether we're going to beat Manchester United. I don't know if we beat Forest the week after, because the heightened nature of the game. The final thing I'm going to say, I'm proud of the players. Why am I proud? Not because I take away joy. I feel like this is a young team. This team isn't good enough to win the league. We've said this in the past. This team isn't the second best team. Even if we finished second, I don't believe you can sit there and claim it. Whoever gets second this year, it's a false second. Do you know what I mean? It's a false positive. You're going to take positives out of necessity, but if you apply context to it, there is no positive. The teams are all equally as bad as each other when you compare them to Liverpool. However, what this team showed is development. They could have crumbled. You saw last year, we went down to 10 men, we lost 4-1. Do you know what I mean? We were humiliated. We were absolutely distraught. However, today, we didn't crumble. In second half, we played the percentage game. In my opinion, we should have scored. We should have went for it a little bit harder earlier. And now we're in a predicament where it's like, what do we do? Because Levi stepped up. Trev had a great game. I thought Cucurella was a good. Second half, Enzo was good. Caicedo had a good game. Lavia in the second half was good. You took him off, didn't get injured. Beautiful. I thought Palmer was trying stuff. Neto was working his socks off. Sancho came on. Sancho looked good and competent. Sancho genuinely looked very dangerous. We just couldn't fabric enough chances. And why? We were with 10 men. We had a clown that cost us the game. People are going to say, Alex, you're being too harsh. Difficult moments, you need your boys to be men. You need your boys to turn into men. And that's what we have. We have a group of boys, and Jackson's the biggest boy out of all of them. The way he acts on the pitch, the way he's always arguing with refs, the way he's always picking up stupid yellows, he's a child. The way he acts is not manly. And the decision he made today was petulant. It was stupid and it was costly. Not only for him for this game and the rest of the game, it could be costly and it could cost his club millions. For me, I'm not exaggerating. He does not start the final against Betis. I'd rather lose the final against Betis out of principle than start him. He absolutely shut the bed. It's jarring, it's annoying. I might be speaking out of emotion right now, but it is what it is. Listen, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We will be back tomorrow when I'm more calm. We're going to talk about the latest news. There's news on Jadon Sancho potentially being sent back for 5 million. It's re-emerged. There will be fallout from this game. I'm very broken, man. I'm broken because there was a chance that we should have done better there. Jarring, absolutely jarring.